So this paper is a value-added course, and the nomenclature of the paper is Bhagavad Gita and Managerial Effectiveness. It means how we can use the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in management. And management does not mean always that corporate management, company management, it may not be. It may be your personal management, your life management, your family management, your whatever may be, wherever you are working. এই তো প্রবলেম হয়ে যায়, এইটু প্রবলেম হলে মোর দিকদারি লাগি যায়, এইটু প্রবলেম জয়েন করাবো লাগে। ওকে, উপায় নাই আজি। Okay, so it may be any sort of management. Management is a part of everybody's life. Even if you are not working in a company, you are managing something or the other. You are managing your life management or anything. So these things, the teachings of Lord Krishna to Arjuna is applicable everywhere, and that is scientifically proved, and I told you about it. So today we are doing module 2, and in module 2 we are having self-awareness and regulation of mind and senses. I have taught you last class what is self-awareness. So this part I'll be going a bit fast. I'll go to the other parts. So a regulation of mind and senses, how you can regulate your mind, how you can regulate your senses, because mind is the greatest enemy, worst enemy you can say, and mind is the greatest friend also. And I told you about what we get from Bhagavad Gita, dharma, karma and swadharma, how it can be used in professional conduct. So dharma, karma, all these things I have explained what is it, and swadharma, how it is used in professional conduct. So I explained this. Emotional balance and ideal manager. Who is an ideal manager? This is the most important thing. Ideal manager or ideal person is that person who is having sthita prajna. Sthita prajna means a person of steady wisdom. Suddenly there is a negative thing, his person is not getting disturbed. Suddenly there is something positive, he is not getting over happy. Because, and I explained it from the sloka, कर्मणि वादिकरस्तु मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फलर हेतुर्भुर्मते संगुष्ट कर्मणि. So from this sloka we find that you have to be attached to your work and you don't have any right over your result. Because if result is good, if you think it is your result, you may be having ego. And if result is bad, and suppose you are thinking his own result, then you will be facing depression. Both ego and depression destroys a person. So Lord Krishna says, you give the result to me, and you don't have right on the result, but you have to work. You have to be attached to work and detached from result. So that is we get from teachings of Lord Krishna to Arjuna, because Arjuna was depressed at that time. How Lord Krishna consoled him, inspired him, motivated him to do the work. And you may think that it is a war only, fighting is a bad thing. Don't think those things. Sometimes fighting is also essential. But we are not fighting here against Kauravas or against anything. Here we are fighting in this age, in our life, we are fighting against the negativities, we are fighting against the corruption, we are fighting against the nepotism, favoritism, and all sorts of negativities we are fighting. So at that time we must be a man of steady wisdom, that is sthita prajna. And I also taught you leadership behavior and individual habits. There are 3 gunas are there. 3 guna ase, sattva, raja, tama. Sattva, raja, tama. These 3 gunas I explained little bit, and today also I'll explain, and how these help you and how this classifies a particular person in his life, in management, what it may be. And I taught you ethical decision making. You should always take ethical decision. I told you ethics in management and ethics in research is connected with here. Everywhere. Suppose you have done something unethical, then that will lead to where it will lead. And crisis leadership. We learned these lessons from Bhagavad Gita. Like there was crisis in leadership. If the war was not there, at that time Arjuna was depressed, whatever duty he was not doing. So he was facing crisis. Today also several times we face crisis in life. We have lots of crisis in life. At that crisis of life, how ethical decision we take, And mostly when people are having crisis in life, problem in life, challenge in life, they take wrong decision. Once wrong decision is taken, what could be wrong? And result will be wrong. So how can you protect us? Can you imagine in a company if you take a wrong decision for production, marketization or investment, anything, if you take a wrong decision, it will make the company, it will lead to hell. It will be gone. So how we can do right decision? We learn these lessons from Bhagavad Gita. So these are the things included here, and ultimately motivation. Motivation matters. So you study Mahabharata slokas, Mahabharata serial also. Sometimes you can check it, and you can study how Lord Krishna inspired Arjuna. A smiling face, sweet words. He has to inspire. He has to motivate. So who is the greatest teacher in the world? That is Lord Krishna. Is the greatest teacher. He is a teacher actually. You can say, in the higher sense, he is a teacher. Guru, and Shishya, greatest Shishya is Arjuna. So that is how he taught, he motivated, he make his life disciplined, and ultimately these we are going to use in our practical life. This is managerial effectiveness, how we can effectively manage. So these things, let me go a bit fast. Self-awareness and regulation of mind. I taught here. Yes. Self-awareness means, what is self-awareness? Self-awareness means knowing who you are. You know about yourself, who you are. What is your strength? What is your weakness? In management we have, I told you about what is SWOT analysis or SOC. SW, what is SWOT means? Strength, weakness, opportunity and threat. And SOC, SWOC is all the same. Strength, weakness, opportunity and challenge. So you find your own personal life, what is your strength, what is your weakness, what is your opportunity, what are the challenges. Similarly, take these things in the company as a manager, take these things in family, take these things in career. So all these teachings we get from Mahabharata, from Lord Krishna. Your thoughts and emotion, you should know your thoughts. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Be conscious. What you are thinking. Sometimes you are thinking something which are not useful for you, and thinking and wasting time, and thinking of what is harmful for you, and you have to control your emotions. That's the most important thing, because if you don't control your emotion, then again you take wrong decision in management. And controlling mind and senses means, what does it mean controlling mind? Not getting distracted easily. That is the most important. The mind should be very strong, sthita prajna, strong mind. This event, that event, good event, bad event should not distract you. Only then you can do something as a student. Only then you can do something as a manager, as anyone, as a leader. And not reacting impulsively and staying focused on the goal. You set the goal, you think how Arjuna focused on his goal. You study those stories. I am not teaching those stories to you. You study and find out, because I have supposed you know all these things, or you study, find out. I am just teaching here how that knowledge, that quality can be applied in our life. I am concerned with that. Our life means in managerial effectiveness. That's what I am doing. So you understand controlling of mind and senses, and then key ideas. The mind can be best friend and mind can be worst enemy. Everybody knows, but we don't follow, don't remember these things. Or don't remember these things. So we have to remember these things. We have to apply these things. That mind is your best friend. And when mind is your enemy, you find out, you research on yourself. You become self-awareness, you research on yourself. Only then you can go ahead. Discipline helps in better decision making. If you are not disciplined, then you take wrong decision. And then control over senses leads to success. If you can control your senses, and sometimes your senses are uncontrolled for different types of factors, parameters, like that you are motivated to do something for temporary benefit. You are doing, suppose you are publishing a research paper, you are doing some research. And in this research, for easily getting the name and fame, you are doing some such thing which is unethical. So, very fast or overnight, you are writing something, stealing something from other person's work and putting in your paper, and it's published. Few days you will be enjoying. It will be in the good research journal and all. And ultimately there will be case of plagiarism. Then will be suffering. They will be thinking that I should not have done it. So that is the ethics. Example, when it comes to management, a manager who stays calm, means cool during stress, can make better decision than one who panics. I told you yesterday, there is a simple event, and when a manager is panicking, he is scolding everybody, and he is not taking proper decision. But if you are cool, if the manager is cool and calm and thinks what to do the next, he can take the better decision. He can minimize the losses. And what is dharma, karma, swadharma? I told you. Dharma means actually duty. Many people say dharma means religion. Remember, dear scholars, dharma is not directly religion. Hindu dharma, Jain dharma, Muslim dharma, we say these are religions only, it's a lower level. Dharma means something, sanatan, something which is as true as like H2O makes water. That type of dharma, like sun is hot, like sugar is sweet. That type of dharma, that is the dharma. Even Ramakrishna said it this way. You call chini, you can say cheni, you can say shakkar, you can say sugar, but taste is same. That Sanatanism is dharma, that type. And dharma means doing the right thing. Dharma means doing the right thing. You find out, you search and think in your brain which is right and what is wrong. What is right and what is wrong. Without thinking that you are doing the work and then you face the effects. So before that you think, so what is right for you? And then follow the moral values. You find out what is the moral values. As for your research paper, I told you what are the moral values, what are the ethics of research publication. I told you these things. Similarly, you should know it. If you don't know it, you will be doing wrong. Again, you will be taking wrong decision. So in everywhere, these are important. Karma, every karma, karma is action. Without karma, you don't get anything. You have to work. Lord Krishna said you have to work. Every action has consequences. And I told you several times, focus on the work, not on the result. You have to focus, you have to write to work. But if you concentrate too much on result, you shall not be able to work properly. You shall not be able to work. And if work is not there, if work is not properly done, then result will be bad. So where is your mind? You should focus. That is the thing Lord Krishna says. You focus the mind on the work. And after work is done, whatever result comes, you accept it, give it to God. But before doing the work, take decision. And before taking the decision, make your mind steady. So these are the so many scientific things are taught in Bhagavad Gita. That's why there are courses on diploma in Harvard University, USA on this Bhagavad Gita and different other countries also. Swadharma means your own work. Suppose my work is teaching, and now instead of doing my work, I take it very practically. Whatever other people, Munishi says, it's okay, but I understand it my own style, very practical way. You see, I am a teacher and I have gone for doing surgery to a patient in the hospitals. Doctor is not there, surgeon is not, I am doing that. But that is not my dharma. I cannot do it. I have given this example, you can apply some other thing. What is my dharma? My dharma is teach you. But I am doing something else which is not my dharma. That is Shadharma, own duty. So, Lord Krishna said, you do your own duty. You do your own dharma. Doing job that suits your role and ability. You find out, aware about yourself, what you can do, you do that. What you cannot do, you should not do that unless and until you learn it. Many people do something which he or she is not fit for, because that person has not studied himself or herself. So they don't know which they can do, which they cannot do. So they do some such thing which is not suitable for them. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us, you research on yourself, be self-aware, awareness you have, awareness and know yourself, research yourself and find out which work you are suited, best suited. And that is the most important decision in life. Most important decision in life, in management and whatever may be. And don't copy others. If you copy others, similarly in research publication, if you are copying other people only because other person has done it, so I am doing that. You encourage, energize some power inside yourself, that is inner power. You develop your inner power and then ask your own inner self what you should do. Many people do only because others are doing. And you remember, you have not seen earlier, 25 years back, there was some culture of PCO. No mobile was there, PCO. Every road, every corner, there are 10, 12 PCO. And looking at that public, that PCO people are doing, the other people doing that. So one person doing a particular business, other person follows it. You do something different, that is innovation. You do something new, that is innovation, that is entrepreneurship. Now you see how Bhagavad Gita is connected to entrepreneurship, with management, with business, with innovation. Can you find it? Total guidance is there. Total guidance. I will be taking a very brief way, but in the 700 plus slokas, total guidance is there. So this is Bhagavad Gita. Application management. How can you apply this in management? Be honest in work. You have to be, at any cost, you have to be honest in your work. Whatever work you are doing. Any dishonesty can lead you to the result which Duryodhana faced, happened to him. Perform your duties very sincerely. Whatever we are doing the work, take that work is your dharma. Karma dharma boli koy. Whatever you are doing, now you are a researcher, that is your duty. You take it as your dharma. You are a teacher, that is your dharma. You are a surgeon, doctor, that is your dharma. You are a student, that is your dharma. You think that way. And Bhagavad Gita teaches in that line only, you perform duties sincerely. Lack of sincerity will lead you to nowhere or something negative. Take responsibility for your action. See, I am talking to research scholars sitting with me. See, when you have published some research paper, so you are responsible, or PhD thesis, you are responsible for every line, every word of your research paper. You are responsible. So I tell my scholars, you check everything properly. Later on, don't say, oh, I took it from here, I don't know. When you publish a research paper, thesis, whatever thing, every point you are responsible for that. Think that way, then only quality will be there. Then not only research work, in anything, in management, in business, in job, in whatever it may be, in personal life, you take the responsibility of your own action. You have to take responsibility. When you feel that I am responsible for my own work, then your work will be good. Then there will be sincerity. Otherwise, many people do some such thing, and then negative effects are suffered by the society. That should not be. Society is misled. And what is Sthita Prajna? There may be questions. You can elaborate these things. I put in a very small way. A person who remains calm in success and failure. See, success and failure, two things, two opposite things. Success and failure are two opposite things. In these two opposite things, in a better English you can say, reduce the difference between two opposites. Very beautiful line. Reduce the difference between two opposites. Means success, okay, theek hai. Failure, okay, chalo. Like that as far as possible. But practically you may not be able to think that way. You passed in the examination, okay, theek hai, no problem. You failed in the examination, okay, theek hai. It's very difficult. What happens? When you pass in the examination, good result, you enjoy so much that you forget the other things. And when you fail in the exam, then you do some such negative thing that you can go for self-destruction. That's why Lord Krishna said, Karmani vadikarastu ma phaleshtu kadachana. When your Sthita Prajna is not affected by emotion like anger or fear, when your Sthita Prajna, anger and fear will not disturb you. Even anger